Yes, obbies are real people with real voices. We've read a lot of Reddit stories over the past couple of days, and we thought, why not just read these absurd stories to you guys while I play this Roblox game called Mafia. And I say we because obbies is a channel with 5 people, so each story will be read by one person each, so yeah, let's just start. This first story is, am I in the wrong for lying to my boss and co-workers about where I live? So I landed my first full-time job at this small company, like 30 people, in a city 2 hours away from where I lived. From the interview, my boss knew I wasn't local, but I was so hyped about finally getting a full-time job for the first time that I told him I'd move closer within a couple of months. Thing is, I was still living with my parents, cultural norms, early 20s, unmarried girl. You can imagine the struggle. I haven't even told them about the moving part yet because I knew it would be such a whole battle. Anyway, I break the news when I actually get the job because, well, I had to commute 6 days a week by commute or ordering a car a day prior, which is really expensive because I don't own a car. That's at least 2 hours each way, 4 hours of commuting daily. I was exhausted, but I kept pushing through. Trying to convince my dad to let me rent a place near work took him 4 months of watching me basically turn into a zombie before he finally agreed. So I moved in with 2 roommates and suddenly my commute dropped to 20 minutes and I could actually do things other than eat and collapse into bed. Now here's where it gets messy. My boss is a micromanaging nightmare. Before I moved, he already had me staying late for endless tasks and last minute meetings. He even bumped my salary just barely above minimum wage to help with rent, so he clearly expected me to move, but I didn't tell him when I actually did. Why? Because I knew if he realized I lived closer, he'd squeeze me even harder. Like, oh, you're only 20 minutes away? Great, stay a couple hours more. Here, take the laptop with you. Mind you, even when I lived away, he used to force me to work from home sometimes, and it was also once on a national holiday as well. So for the past 3 months, I've been lying, told him I'm still commuting from my parents' place, lied to co-workers too, because I found out later the cameras at work have mics and my boss listens in on everything. Now my co-workers are starting to side me since we commute together using the same bus, and I keep making up excuses about having plans in the city or using a different bus to commute this time and etc etc. So am I in the wrong for lying to my boss about not moving yet or at all, or is this just a survival mode with a toxic boss? Do I keep lying to everyone about my living situation? And before anyone says just get another job, trust me, I'm trying. Personally, I wouldn't really say you're in the wrong. You have a toxic boss who treats you like crap. There's no point of telling him if he's gonna start giving you extra work, but maybe you should tell your co-workers you don't really want to come into work and all your co-workers are just like sus of you.
Here's the next story by Skeleton. Dear friend with bad hygiene, I have the sweetest friend who I've known for years and we've gotten a lot closer in the last few years. She's not big on hygiene. I've discovered she baths once a week and wears clothes that she sleeps in straight to work, doesn't wear socks, etc. Her hair's always horribly oily. On a few occasions where we've been in a close proximity, the odor has been beyond overwhelming. It's not Bo as she used deodorant, it's everything else. Musty hair and clothes, bad breath and butt smell. She took her shoes off recently and it literally filled the room with fecal odor. I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to say anything, but I'm an odor phobia and it's getting hard to deal with. From what she said here and there, it seems she just hates showering and thinks standards around washing clothes are over the top. She's an educated professional and a mom with a lot of friends. Please don't bash me. I'm not judging her. Just trying to manage my aversion and confirm that I need to never say anything. I just wish it didn't tweak me so much.
This is the dad story recorded by Reaper. The story's title is called Am I in the Wrong for Looking at a Crying Kid in a Cafe? I was in a cafe in Berlin. It was a Saturday. I was using my laptop to plan my trip. At a table next to me there were 2 women with 3 kids. The youngest of them, 1 to 3 years old, was screaming constantly. It was obvious that the kid didn't want to be there. The mother, however, just kept talking to the other women. I was visibly annoyed and looked at the crying kid and the mother a few times. She then approached me and said, "This is a cafe and everyone has the right to be here. If you're annoyed by the kid, you can go and work in a co-working space." To this I replied, "The kid is screaming and it's annoying for everyone. Also, I didn't complain about it or tell you anything about it." She then became more frustrated and said, "You are discriminating against children. Everyone has the right to be here."
I said, I'm not discriminating against anyone. I have the right to look wherever I want and to be annoyed as much as I want. I'm not the one that approached you and bothered you in any way. She kept on rumbling. So am I in the wrong for looking at a crying kid at the cafe? Personally, I think not, since the kid is disturbing mostly everyone and the cafe is meant to be a place of peace and quiet, and many people do work projects. If the kid is crying, this will distract everyone and make the place a public nuisance, and it will affect the cafe and people around.
So this is the third story by me, Risk. Am I in the wrong for leaving my friend in another country? So a couple years ago, me and 3 other lads went on a holiday to Cyprus. We all get along great and have done for 4 years whilst in uni. This one guy in our group, we call him Ellis. He's the type of guy that says he'll meet us at the train station at 8 a.m. and at 8:30 we'll give him a ring and he's just hopping in the shower and leaving. He'd be late for his own graduation, wedding and funeral. So 5 days after sunbathing, drinking and eating good food, it's our final day. We're all chilling in the villa and Ellis decides to go for a hike. He heads off and we say we'll get all this stuff in the car ready to go. It was all packed anyways. 3 hours go by and we give Ellis a call saying he needs to turn back now. He says no problem and starts his journey back. He's having a coffee at a cafe. Another 2 hours go by. We call Ellis and he says he's on his way back. He doesn't sound like he's moving. We check his location. He's at a cafe like 3-hour walk away. It's a Sunday. We don't know any taxi rank numbers or anything, so we give him a call saying he needs to get a lift back to us or meet us at the airport. No worries lads, I'll run back. We try and plead him just to get a taxi, but he's frugal and won't get a taxi. So we text him saying his suitcase is at the villa and we need to leave as our taxi is booked at the last minute anyway. He says that's fine and I'll make it back in time. He does it. He didn't even try to make it back quickly. 3 hours later, we sat on the plane and we get a flurry of texts. I'm back now. Where are you? When's the next taxi coming to pick me up? We just had to say that we got on the plane and he needs to get the next one. He was fuming. His family kicked off at us, but I can't help but feeling like he deserved it. So was I in the wrong? Hell nah. That guy was disrespectful as shit, fam.
Here's the fifth and final story recorded by D-Man, and the story is, am I in the wrong for kicking my dad out of my house? So to start out, I'm 27, my father is 68. In early 2025, I got a divorce, and shortly after that, due to problems on his end, my father moved in with me until he could get on his feet again. I've been telling him for at least 6 months, I need you out of my house. I know he has the ability financially, so today I told him he needs to get out soon or I'll have to do a full-blown eviction. At this point, I really need my space alone, since I never even got that after my divorce. And I'm very torn, but feel like I have to do this for me and my sanity. Am I selfish? Personally, I find you selfish. Your dad provided you since you were born. He was only there for a couple of months. You stayed with your dad for so much of your life and not once did he tell you to get out, so you flippin' selfish.